that is the place. Like, I think if I had the choice, if there was one place where I could go in a time machine and just peek for like an hour, just look around, and then come back to present day, I think that would be the spot. I'd want to see what Egypt was like when they were building the pyramids, like in the middle of construction, when they were at their peak, when they were building the Great Pyramid of Giza. Like, what was society like? Like, what were the people like? If you could just be a fly on the wall and no one knew you were there. You see, if they saw you, they'd be like, what are you doing? What is this thing on your wrist? Who are you? Why your teeth look so good? How come you don't look deformed?
I'd go back to the I'd be on the grassy knoll that day with JFK.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Dallas.
one, too.
That's a good one,
too.
Just
would you be on the grassy knoll, or would you be in the book depository? See, if you're in the book depository, then you know that Lee Harvey Oswald isn't there.
I think he may have even been there. I think he may have even been firing, but I don't believe that he was the only one.
I'm with you. That's exactly what I think. I think he could have been in on it, and maybe he didn't even fire it.
Right.
But when he said that he was a patsy, the way he said it, when he got arrested, he said, "I'm just a patsy." That's like a guy who knew he was going to get in trouble for something.
Yeah.
That's not like a regular guy. He was not a regular guy. They easily could have talked him into doing something fucked up, and then they did something as well and blamed it all on him, and they had him set up for it.
Yeah.
He seemed like a wacky dude.
Someone that did that and made that shot and really wanted him dead would own it. Quite the opposite. At that point, you're not trying to not go to prison.
Well, maybe he is, but it didn't seem like it. He didn't seem like a guy who just shot someone. He also didn't seem like a guy who was shocked that he was getting arrested for something. But you could make someone a patsy back then. That was real. You could set someone up, and then you hired Jack Ruby to just run up on the guy and shoot him. And he just did it. Now the guy's dead. Jack Ruby drops the gun. They put him in a nice jail cell. I don't know if he was in a nice jail cell. I have no idea.
And then what happened to Jack Ruby? Something happened to him,
Died
right?
in jail. Got cancer.
How much do you know about those three guys that they thought
I
might
think.
have been it?
Maybe that's John God.
The three hobos or the three guys under the bridge?
Well, one of them was Woody Harrelson's dad.
Yeah, they were in the CIA,
Yeah.
I read, or they thought
Something.
they were. Who knows?
Look, Kennedy was not a popular guy by any stretch of the imagination with a giant chunk of the population. Think about if as many people hate Trump right now, if that's only I don't know how many people hated Kennedy, but I know that the Bay of Pigs was a huge disaster. A lot of military people hated him for that. Supposedly he wanted to get rid of the NSA. Supposedly he wanted to get rid of he wanted to do something about the Federal Reserve. There was a lot of things that he wanted to do, apparently. Maybe it was the CIA. I think it was the CIA. He was trying to disband one of those. But he had a disdain for secrecy and secret societies. There was a lot of these like Skull and Bones type things that like George W. Bush was in, or Herbert Walker Bush, rather, his dad. Mm-hmm. Was George G.W. in Skull and Bones too?
They both were, yeah.
Yeah, all that wacky shit. Like, what are you doing? You dressing up like a druid? What are you doing? Are you burning an effigy? A lot of people thought that was all fake until Alex Jones and John Ronson was with him, right?
At the
yes.
I don't know who was with him actually.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Google that. Make sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure it was Ronson. I'm pretty sure Ronson was. I know it was. He was talking about it. He was talking about it on the podcast about that they couldn't believe what they found. So this is this place, Bohemian Grove, and the idea was that all the elites would go there and they would engage in these occult rituals.
This is in America?
Yeah, it's in California.
Oh.
It's like Northern California. And so you hear about this and you're like, what? Like, if you heard about that, like, hey, there's a place. Former presidents go, top-ranking generals and heads of state and bankers and famous artists. They go to this place and they do occult rituals. Yeah. They perform occult rituals.
Part 4 of The Secret Rulers of the World, directed by John Ronson. He travels with Alex Jones, too.
There you go.
What's that, Netflix?
I don't know where you can find it at the moment. It was on.
You can definitely see it on YouTube.
Right.
You can definitely see the interaction on YouTube. So Alex films these people worshiping Moloch the owl god and doing this thing. He completely sneaks in, just acts like he belongs there. Just let him in. They have a guarded gate. Just fucking, hey, how you doing? He looks like a Republican. They let him through. He is there filming them they have an effigy, like a bunch of straw and shit that's supposed to represent a person that you're sacrificing to Moloch the owl god. They're dressed in these crazy hoods. They put the effigy down. They have those loudspeakers, and they have this crazy speech they give. It's so weird. But these are like legitimate, wealthy, famous people, politicians. These people are heads of